Hey YouTube, my name is Nick, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to remove and replace your Gearshift in your Steel Battalion Controller with the no-contact replacement Slepnir Gearshift, which was created by Harcroft. And so my guide will assume that your controller is still all in one piece with all three blocks connected. So we're going to start by separating the left block from the middle block. So first thing you want to do is you want to pick up your controller and flip it onto its underside. And you may or may not have this, but mine did. And basically what you want to do is you want to take this 3mm hex wrench and you want to undo these four screws holding this, this bracket onto the left and middle block. So after you get the bracket piece off for the left block, what you want to do is you need to carefully remove this IDC cable, I think it's called. And then you can separate the left block from the center block and the right block, which you can put aside for now. So here's the left block by itself. There are, it appears, I think 9 screws to get the bottom plate of the left block off. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, sorry, there's 7 screws to get the left block off. Yeah, because that's not a screw in the middle. So, 4 of these screws are hidden under these rubber feet, so you will have to pry them up a bit. And I think you should be able to just stick them back, and it'll just hold against the table. So I'm just going to peel those up. They're very thin, so you can do it with your fingernails. Mine were actually a little bit easy to come off because I already took apart the left block once. So I'm just peeling them up with my fingernails. You can probably also use a screwdriver, like a flathead screwdriver, to peel up the little rubber feet. So now it's just a matter of getting all these screws out, which they take a Phillips screwdriver to do, and you just have to undo those. One more thing I kind of forgot to mention is that there's also a screw that is hidden under this cable, right in this hole. It might not be visible on camera, but it's there. So you have to remove that screw as well, otherwise you will not be able to get off the bottom plate of the left block. So once you got that last screw out, you can kind of pry off the bottom by putting your thumb into this little ridge here. And you also want to be careful to feed this through this little slot here. And then the back plate should come off. So basically, once you have the left block taken apart like this, the first step is to remove this 16-pin connector here. Okay, so one thing of note, especially if you're on a green set, this is what I found. When you're pulling on this cable, you want to kind of wrap your index finger around the loop like this and have your thumb resting on this little piece here. And you kind of want to rock it back and forth. You might want to just not be afraid to pull on it a little because it was glued in for some reason. So there was a little bit of glue on the 16-pin connector, I guess, to keep it in place. And so with that out of the way, once you remove this connector, that is the end of step 1. The next step is to simply unscrew these 4 screws here. It is once again a Phillips screw. It is a set of 4 Phillips screws, I should say. So after you remove the original Gearshift from your Steel Battalion controller, what you want to do is you want to take 2 of the silver screws that you just removed, and you want to put them into these 2 spare posts so that you do not lose them. And so I'm going to do that right now. So once you place the 2 screws back into their original screw posts, the next step is to actually connect the Sleipnir Gearshift into the 16-pin cable, which is keyed and only plugs in one way. And you will know you connected it correctly if you see this little notch lined up right here. That's how you know that it is connected properly. So after you have connected the Slepnir to the 16-pin cable, the next step is to insert this magnet holder into the correct spot it needs to be in and in the correct orientation. And where this magnet holder goes is right about there. You can see where that little circle is right here. There's a square right below it, and that's where the little notch of the magnet holder goes. This little notch that's sticking down right about here, that's where that little notch needs to go. It needs to go into that little square. And this is how the magnet holder should be seated, with the magnet pointing that way. Right in between these two circular posts here. That's where the magnet goes, the magnet holder. So then, the last thing you need to do is you just have to screw the Sleipnir board into these two holes here. And then you can move on. And this is what it should look like when you have the Sleipnir Gearshift successfully installed. So before we get on to testing the Gearshift, I just want to finish this up properly and obviously show you how to put it back together, the entire controller. So you have to put the rubber feet back onto the four corners that you've removed, and you have to put all the screws back in, including the hidden one that's here. So to rejoin the left block and the middle block together, these three holes on the middle block have to sit under the IDC cable, kind of like this. And then you kind of just have to set it in place, making sure that this will fit in that hole there. Just like that. So that is back together. Then you just put the left bracket back on, just like this. And then you put the four screws in and you're good to go. Again, using and needing the 3mm hex wrench. So I got Steel Battalion loaded up on my original Xbox, and what's already a good sign is that the reverse light is active. And as you can see, when I move the gear shift across every single one that just got stuck there in between, you will see that every single one lights up, and you can also see that on the screen it corresponds with the same input. Therefore, it works. So that's it. Congratulations, you successfully installed the Sleipnir Gearshift, and that is the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching, and if you want to see me actually try out this Gearshift in a mission, then that will be in my next YouTube video. Thank you very much. Until next time.